Welcome to Bible and Revelations. We're in episode 62a, Daniel, book 6. We're still in the autobiographical part. Book Daniel 7 starts the prophecy section, or more intense prophecy. It's January 20th. There's a freeze here. Half of my house, one of my bathrooms froze because of the way the house was built. The other bathroom was okay. The one bathroom thawed out, and it's working now. But I don't know if there's any leaks under the house. I would imagine so. And it's been very bad. Lots of ice and snow and wrecks and people dying. There was just a fire last night. I think someone around here, their house burned down, and they got out of the house, so they got away with their lives, and that was it. Everything else is gone. I guess it was a heater. I don't know. Anyway, I also had a propane leak. A friend of mine, tried to start my propane heater, and he couldn't get it started. It's very hard to start, in his defense, but he didn't turn it off all the way, and so I ended up falling down. And I could barely walk. I was walking around like this and dizzy. Right here, it's like zzz, buzzing, and my eyes started going like that. I didn't know what was going on, so I just grabbed some clothes and got out of the house. I ended up going to work and staying there for 2 nights and 3 days before I got the nerve to come back home. So I came home and checked, and I found I just thought about it. I went to the propane tank, and it wasn't shut off all the way, so it was a slow leak, which got me. But that's been handled. Okay, Daniel 6. The plot against Daniel. Oh, I remember this. Daniel, at this point, is like a mayor or a city official working for the king, and there are a lot of them. Now, a major source of their income was bribery and extortion. So let's say you're in charge of tractors. The guy you bought the tractors from, you'd get a kickback. The guy, wherever you sent the tractors to work, that the person that lived around there would have to give you some money. So bribery was a big part of their income. But Daniel was a honest, God-fearing man, and would not sin against his employer. So he did everything above board, and the other city officials, administrators, are plotting against him because they want him out because he's ruining their side hustle, which is collecting bribery and stuff. And so here's the plot. It seemed good to Darius. Darius is, I think, the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar. This is 80 years, like 60 years later, from earlier in the chapter. It seemed good to Darius, and he set up over the kingdom 120 satraps. A satrap technically is a petty tyrant, but these were like little administrators that working for the king. So 120 satraps who were to be over the whole kingdom, and over them 3 high officials, one of whom Daniel was one. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, Daniel wasn't a satrap. He was in charge of 1/3 of the 120. So He was in charge of 40 satraps. Oh, so that's a lot of people that he's rubbing the wrong way by being honest. And over them 3 officials, of whom Daniel was one, in order that these satraps might continually be giving to them the report, and the king himself might not become the loser. Okay, so Daniel is over 40 of the satraps, probably, 1/3, and he is taking reports from the 40, and making sure they're working in the king's best interest, and then he takes that, puts that in a report and takes it to the king to make sure the king doesn't is not losing money or being disrespected. And giving to them the report, and the king himself might not become the loser. Then it was that this Daniel was steadily distinguishing himself over the high officials and the satraps, forasmuch as an extraordinary spirit was in him, and the king was intending to elevate him over the kingdom. He was doing such a good job, the king wanted to promote him above the other 2 officials. At that time, the high officials and the satraps themselves were constantly seeking to find some pretext against Daniel respecting the kingdom. But there was no pretext or corrupt thing at all that they were able to find, forasmuch as he was trustworthy, and no negligence or corrupt thing at all was found in him. This, I think, is what happens in our America, in the Senate and the Congress. We get these good people that say, I'm going to fight corruption and stop wasting money and this and that, and they go up there. Next thing you know, they're voting along with everybody else. So I think what they do, like, they're looking for corruption, is they find a weakness. Cocaine, prostitutes, maybe he's married and has a homosexual lover, or he's married and has a mistress or 2, or he gambles too much. They find some corruption, then they blackmail them. I'm sure that's what's happening in Washington, D.C., because nothing else can explain why these good people go up there and within a year or 2 they're voting again with the deep state against the people. They do stuff that is blatantly harmful to the citizens. So they couldn't find a way to blackmail him, it's looking like, or to find leverage over him. Like if he was a gambler, loan him money and then say, well, you owe me $1 million, I'll let you off $200,000 if you vote this way here, or if you let this guy pay me a bribe here. So they couldn't find any corruption in him, no way to blackmail him. At that time, the high officials and the satraps themselves were constantly seeking to find some pretext against Daniel respecting the kingdom. But there was no pretext or corrupt thing at all that they were able to find, forasmuch as he was trustworthy, and no negligence or corrupt thing at all was found in him. Consequently, these able-bodied men were saying, we shall find in this Daniel no pretext at all, except we have to find it against him in the law of his God. Period. Well, I'm sorry, that's it. I can only record 10 minutes because of this camera. I think it's going to cost me $500 for a better camera. I might be able to get one for $250. I forgot. But anyway, I have to stop here. God bless you. Become an organ donor. Give your heart to Jesus. And thank you very much for tuning in. Maybe I'll start posting 2 a week or something, because this is way too short. Thank you very much.